Hello everybody, Shift Your Mindset here, new episode. Free advice to the governing body. And the advice of today is, why keeping records of people? We all know they keep records. They love administration. They love holding things against you because we're only human and we have to remember things and stuff like that. And it has two sides to it. Keeping records, is it scripturally based? And the matter of confidentiality. And if you go to the Elders book, it's a section about confidential records. When a matter has been handled, elders should not retain personal copies of confidential records of personal notes regarding confidential matters, printed or electronic. When they are filed, so they keep them, they are filed, the elder handling the case should ensure that the following documents are placed in a sealed envelope. Any record of disfellowshipping, disassociation, or judicial reproof. The well-famous S77 form. Any letter of introduction that includes information regarding judicial proof in the past 3 or reinstatement in the past 5 years. Any letter from the branch office regarding a matter involving accusations of child sexual abuse, established or not. A record made by the elders to document a report and made to the secular authorities regarding any accusation. Any record of a determination by a body of elders that a publisher is or is not scripturally free to remarry. Also that they keep in records. And then on the envelope is the name of the individual, identifying the action taken such as disfellowship, disassociated or judicial reproof, reinstated, etc. etc. Free to marry. So they keep records of the people in the congregation. First of all, why? To remember things? Let's go to the Bible. Yes, people, I'm going to the Bible and see if that's necessary or not. Governing body members, if you are watching, you can always contact me and I explain it to you in person. 1 Corinthians 13:4. I love that one because for me that's about how it should be in life. If you want to have a compass in life, 1 Corinthians 13:4. Love is patient, kind. Love is not jealous. It doesn't brag, doesn't get puffed up, doesn't behave indecently, does not look for its own interests, doesn't become provoked, it doesn't keep account of the injury, it doesn't rejoice over righteousness, but rejoices with the truth, it bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. But here it said in 5, it doesn't keep account of the injury. And then I looked further and then I came to 2 Corinthians 5:19. Namely, that God was by means of Christ reconciling a world to himself. Here it comes. Not counting their offenses against them. Not counting their offenses against them. And that's where things go wrong, in my opinion. Let me know what you think of it, because I'm happy to learn. But how I see it, God is not counting our offenses against him. He's not counting it. Even how much we offended him. He doesn't count. He doesn't keep track of things. The slate is clean white. No offenses are accounted for. So why are Jehovah Witnesses such a control freaks that they keep track and record of everybody in the congregation? They know if you're an other sheep or anointed. They know now, not anymore, but how many hours you were in the ministry. They keep track of all their people to control them. If you keep a track record of people, you're not in a religion, you're in a cult. Plain and simple. It isn't another way. So, and they always, if they keep records, what is a stupid thing to do, you are creating a liability. So I'm still, my mind is blown by why they keep track of people. But on the other side, they have something like a priest-penitent privilege in court. When they go to court, they say, yeah, but we have a privilege, so we can't give you the records because they are between two people. Clergy, you say so? Clergy, penitent privilege. But when I go and look just on Google, clergy penitent privilege is a form of privilege that protects from disclosure to third parties. Communication between two people, a member of the clergy and a person who seeks spiritual counseling. So they are not giving child sexual abuse records, for example, now to the courts, but it goes deeper than that, I think. And the governments will pick up on this. If the government is watching this one, I give you this one for free. Because they are on a clergy, penitent privilege, where they recall themselves to. But it's between a member of the clergy and a person who seeks spiritual counseling. But if I go to my own judicial committee, there were 3 people sitting there. Funny thing is, they don't take notes about their own questions. Why? Because then you can be held accountable for those questions. So they make a little summary of how I was behaving and my body language and how I was speaking and acting, and if I was repentant or not, and stuff like that, but nothing about their own questions. Personal, sexual questions. My privacy was violated, but I didn't answer those questions, but those questions were horrible, people. But they are not taking notes of that. But for the good, they keep a record, small summary of that judicial meeting, and they share the common thought with a body of elders. So in my body of elders, there were already 11 people. So 11 people know about my situation, not 2 people. So where's the clergy penitent privilege in that? They share it with other parties, third parties, I name it. The elders. They share it with the branch committee. So I think the governing body has a huge problem that, for example, the judicial process, something I experienced myself, that process is not designed for maintaining confidentiality. That's it. Because I could appeal, and then you have an appeal committee, that other elders stepping in. That information has been conveyed to those elders. You're already breaching your privilege. The service department breaches the whole privilege when details are provided to them. Sometimes they're advising the circuit overseer, also a breach of information. So I think that more changes are coming, and also on this case, on keeping records of people. If you have to step down as an elder for a serious sin or whatever, it's getting into your file, because then you have at least a few years for you to sit on the bench before you can be an elder again. I don't know what the new rule is. Maybe because after removing they reinstate you within months. In my time it was at least a year for a serious sin before you could send a letter who was taken into consideration. But I foresee that more changes are coming, because also when you're removed, 2 elders are gonna visit you now. It's not about 3 elders anymore, not about a judicial hearing. They still have it, but it's more like if you're an apostate kind of guy, then you get a judicial meeting. So this is something I find very strange, because it's like the beard and the pants stuff. I don't think, in my opinion, when I read it to you, it's not scripturally backed up at all. It's good that you keep a record of people who are sex offenders, who are known for their offenses they had against children and stuff like that. I think that's good that you have something you can rely on or provide to the authorities. And when you provide it, you can delete it and stuff like that. But in other cases, there's no need for us to keep a record for people. Because at the end, God was by means of Christ reconciling a world to himself, not counting their offenses against them. And I saw it my whole life, that people are always reminded of something they did wrong in the past. Could be 10 years ago. But people in the congregation are still referring, yeah, but you remember then and then and then he was disfellowshipped. So you never get a fair chance. And that's not what's about God. God is love. Love is patient. Love is kind. So where is the love in keeping records? Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of it. Maybe if you're just a PMO or you just left the religion, do like me, check your records. You have also, in the Netherlands, you have the right to view your records. It's by law. I don't know how it is here in South Africa or the United States or something like that, but you're allowed to view your own records, which they kept in the organization. Mostly the secretary has it at home or in the kingdom hall somewhere behind locks, but you're allowed to view your own records. If you're still in, do it and see for yourself what they keep track of, what information is in there, because you're entitled to know, because it's about you. Thank you guys, let me know if I'm onto something. I think the governing body will also change these kind of things, because this has a connection with legal liability, and they want they don't want to be liable for anything. So maybe this will be something who makes it better for the people, because there's no need for a record what is wrong with you or whatever they keep track of. Let me know. Have a nice day, everybody, stay safe, and we'll see each other on the next episode.